Do you have any idea how many people are going to be upset at you? Do you have any idea how many people are going to criticize you, try to tear you down, talk about your mother, talk about your career, talk about your hair, talk about your complexion, talk about your race, talk about your background, talk about anything you've ever done? They're going to try to destroy it, dismantle it. They're going to try to make it seem like you are inferior, that you are just as mentally ill as the person that you are about to discuss. And all I can say is, I don't know what the fuck to do with that information other than that's between you and you, bitch. I like to talk about things that make people uncomfortable. I like to talk about things that make people squirm in their seats. I like to talk about the quiet stuff out loud. I like to talk about that elephant in the room. I like to talk about that dirt under the rug. I like to talk about those generational curses that's in the closet. I like to talk about the things that are sitting right in front of us that we choose to ignore, glaze over, create stuff to address so we don't have to address the thing that we really should be addressing. Man, with that being said, I didn't want to talk about what I'm about to talk about, but I don't have a choice in the matter because it's in front of us right now. It's in front of me. I tried to ignore it. I try not to go to social media on Mondays. Like, I try to give myself a break. Monday and Sunday, I'm like, let me not digest any type of toxins. Let me not let the algorithm poison my spirit and my soul and corrupt me and make me choose a side or have an opinion about anything. Just give me a break. And I couldn't avoid it. Phone, Google, let me know somebody said something. That person that I'm going to discuss, I don't care what you feel about it. That's not my business. What makes you uncomfortable is not my problem. What you don't have the ability to comprehend is not my issue. It's an education issue, but we live in a country right now that says education is dumb. Can you imagine saying that out loud? Education is dumb. Education is dumb. I'm going to lead you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Just follow me. And you just follow somebody into hell and be like, he knows where he's going. Today, I'm going to talk about Kanye West. Why am I going to talk about Kanye West? Because we need to talk about Kanye West, even if you don't want to talk about Kanye West. But the hypocrisy is you're talking about Kanye West, even when you say you don't want to talk about fucking Kanye West. Why are we talking about Kanye today? Well, I'm going to just say what started it, and then I'll start from the beginning like a Tarantino film and then work my way to the end. I went online and I read a tweet that I wish I didn't see it. I wish I didn't know it existed. But he's trending number 2 in the country. And then Shannon Sharp is number 3 in the country. And they just keep going back and forth all day. Kanye tweeted that he has a song now called Cousins. And the song is about how he performed a sexual act on his male cousin until he was 14 years old. He's been holding on to that. He's been holding on to that for a long time. He's 40 something years old. Who knows about that? Did his mother know about it? I doubt it. Did his father know about it? Does his father know about it? I doubt it. The cousin knows about it. Did his wife know about it? Did his first wife know about it? Did his girlfriend that he was supposed to marry before he got with his first wife know about it? Who knows about it? We don't know. But he tweeted it. He said it's a song. It sparked a conversation. Some people will say it's a ploy to get us to listen to his music. People do worse. Everybody is in the advertisement business. Everybody is in the advertisement business. Everybody's advertising something. Everybody's advertising something. Everybody's selling something. Everybody's selling their culture's oppression as to why certain things shouldn't be discussed. Everybody's selling their story. Everybody's selling their history. We're all in the suffering or oppression Olympics. Our culture had it worse. Olympics. Kanye talked about this and it's trending. It's trending and we allow it to trend because he has access to social media. You could take it away. You've done it before, but you won't. You taking his Instagram away. You return it to him. You take his Facebook away. You return it to him. His Twitter, his TikTok, whatever he has. I don't follow him on all these platforms. But he's out there. You can take it away, but you don't. You like a shit show. You like a train wreck. You like to create victims. You like to create somebody else to blame for why you can't get over your shit or why you upset about something or why you don't like him or why he's a menace. He ain't kill nobody. Ye ain't killed nobody. Ye ain't killed nobody. Ye is not responsible for why Palestine looks the way it does. Ye is not responsible for the way Palestine looks the way it does. He's not. He's not responsible for none of that. He has nothing to do with Gaza. He has nothing to do with Hezbollah. He has nothing to do with Hamas. He has nothing to do with none of that. None of it. He ain't signed nobody from the desert. Nobody is signed to good music from Palestine. But it's out there. And he's talking about it. And we're talking about it. And you allow it to happen because it's fun to beat up on Kanye. Say what you want. Y'all enjoy it. It's a shit show. It's advertisement. It's clicks. It's discussion because you bored or you lazy or you don't want to fix your own shit. So let's pick a Ye. Let's go jump on Ye. Now, why am I talking about Kanye? I'm not defending Kanye. I brought some help with me. So anybody watching this, whether you are in your trailer park, whether you are in your gated community, whether you are inside your church or your temple or in your car in the parking lot, eating food and watching this at the same time, whether you're at your job, at your cubicle, watching this, whether or not you're in a barbershop or a salon or in a grocery store or at your child's recital that you are bored with. So you pull your phone out to watch something far more entertaining than your spawn. Y'all let Kanye be this way. I brought out some points. In no way am I sympathizing. The question is, why can't we talk about Kanye West? This is a brick wall episode. I talk to the brick wall. The audience is the brick wall because evidently when I say stuff out loud, you look at me like, why is he talking about it? What the fuck is he talking about? This sounds crazy. Does it? Well, let me tell you why I'm talking about it. One, I'm the same complexion as Kanye. He's a black man in this country. If we were standing next to each other, y'all would say that's two black men, regardless of how many commas are different in our bank accounts. Two black men. If you would do this to Kanye, you would do this to me. You would do this to any other black man who is dealing with mental issues. Now, am I sympathizing or an apologist for that? No. Have I said we need to give him a break? Have I said I want to apologize on behalf of him? Have I said I'm in support of this? This goes for every talking head, for every piece of shit that has a podcast that sits there with your cowboy hats or with your space helmet on or with your groggy voice and you just sit there and you make commentary on things because it gets you clicks. Whatever your thing is. I'm not sympathizing. I'm not supporting. I'm basically saying I'm a black man watching a world, a society, cultures descend upon a man who, let's point out the facts, lost his mother, regardless if it's his fault, like so many people speculate, regardless if it's a sacrifice like he has speculated, regardless if it's just a natural cause or a mishap, malpractice, whatever it is. This man lost his mother. Did he grieve? I don't know if Kanye grieved. I didn't see a gap in his work after his mother's passing. He didn't go away for a year. He didn't go away for 2 years. He didn't go away for 3 years. He didn't go to Africa. He didn't go to Mecca. He didn't go anywhere. He went back to the studio. He went back to work. After the breakup with the chick that wasn't his first wife, went through the breakup, made an album about it. He's an artist. That's what we as artists do. As an artist, as an ethnographer, as somebody studying, watching, observing culture and society, why would I talk about something if I don't know everything about it? Because as I pointed out in segment number 1, the role of the comedian is, my job is to make commentary. My job is to discuss what's going on. My job is, what people would like me to do, is to talk shit about Kanye, to make fun of Kanye, to poke at Kanye, to say he needs to be removed from society. That's what people would like me to do. I don't know how to make Kanye's issues funny. And it doesn't mean I'm not, because I am. Don't argue with me. Argue with your whorish mom. I'm funny. But I'm not about to jump on somebody that I don't know, that I feel like is having a mental breakdown. You went to rescue Britney Spears. You tried to rescue. I don't know if y'all rescue. I don't keep up with people that ain't on my radar. I think y'all rescued Amanda Bynes. I think y'all did. I think y'all let her loose. She's out there again. I don't know. I don't care enough to go investigate. Doesn't mean I don't care about this person. I don't have the bandwidth to care about this situation that has nothing to do with me, because I don't relate to her. I don't relate to Britney Spears. I don't relate. Who else had a mental breakdown? Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, when he had the suicide thing. Y'all felt bad for him. He came back. You brought him in. No one ever said, yo, what was going on with you? Like, it was not a discussion. I don't remember there being discussion. And if it was a discussion, I apologize. I wasn't tapped in like that. I know right now that I'm watching a black man who lost his mother, who didn't grieve. I don't know who went to his rescue. Here's where we nasty. Here's where society is nasty. Black people, black women, black culture have said if he had a black woman, he wouldn't be going through that. I don't know. I know plenty of black men that have black women in their lives and they just as fucked up. So I don't know. A lot of people say he on drugs. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't seen him do it. A lot of people say he is a narcissist. I don't know. Maybe he is. I haven't sat down and had an interview with him. He's an artist. He got an ego. There's artists out there with the same type of ego as he has that conducts themselves differently, but it's still narcissistic. There's still people out there that are narcissistic that y'all still embrace. If I was a comedian and I was married, and let's say I cheat on my wife a bunch of times and I keep apologizing to y'all, and y'all keep taking me back in, why wouldn't I continue that behavior? If I can jingle keys over here and make you forget what I'm doing over there, why wouldn't I keep doing it? You're not picking up on it. You're not caring enough to stop me. You're not caring enough to stop showing up for me. You let it happen. You pick and choose who has the right to do what they want to do. You pick and choose who has the leverage. You pick and choose who's more popular. You pick and choose who you'll give a pass to. You'll pick and choose based upon what they say, what they do for you, how they make you feel. You do. You say you don't, but you do. I'm sure one of you internet sleuths, people that like to sit at home and make documentaries, you could put together a documentary of a bunch of people who have done narcissistic What am I talking about? You elected somebody with narcissistic behavior. You elected somebody who told you that their ear got shut off, but it grew back. Where's that technology? Fuck a tariff. Give me ear growing back capability. Give me that. Limbs can grow back. Meat, skin can grow back. Give me that mutant quality. Okay, Wolverine? Let me start from the beginning. I am a college dropout Kanye West fan. If there's a point in my life where I'm like, Kanye can do no wrong, college dropout Kanye, I relate to. Why do I relate to college dropout Kanye? Almost the same age. The album came out 2004. I had just moved to LA. I only been there for like 2 years. It was a don't give up album. It was a you can make it album. It's a you can overcome album. It's a you don't have to sell drugs. You don't have to kill people. You don't have to beat people up. You ain't got to stomp anybody out. You don't have to do drive-bys. You don't have to degrade women. You don't have, I believe he did do some degrading on there. But for the most part, it's a safe album in terms of nobody dies in College Dropout, right? Nobody dies. There's songs that resonate with me. Spaceships. If you grew up in low-income housing, inner city, urban areas, Spaceships speaks to you. The dream of like saying, fuck this job. Y'all don't even like me. I'm the token black guy. You put me out front. I'm going to rob this register because you don't pay me enough. I'm going to make it one day. I'm tired of watching people who I think aren't as good as me make it. I'm going to be there one day. Inspirational. Jesus Walks is on that album. I don't even rock with Jesus Walks like that. But I think he got a little bit of that choir boy syndrome going on. Remember Choir Boy from Five Heartbeats? It's a family conversation. Five Heartbeats is a family conversation, meaning family know about it. Choir Boy, Five Heartbeats, start off as a church guy in this secular music world. Is it secular? Whatever it is. Bad, not gospel music. He goes out into the world, becomes infected with the lust and drugs and women. Now he's evil. Left his Bible at the phone booth. Now he out here doing dirt, smashing everything. Shannon Sharpen it, right? That's Kanye. Because Jesus Walk is a powerful song. If you're into religion, if you're into Jesus, it was mainstream. Did videos about it. I think he won an award for it. We blasted it. We all blasted Jesus Walk. Then, if you're an artist and you feel like you've been screwed over by the industry, managers, agents, A&Rs, casting directors, producers, people, writers, whatever. Last Call at the end of the album is like, how you don't listen to that when you first wake up in the morning and you go out here and be like, yo, fuck everybody. I'm going to do what I want to do. You hear this dude talk about how he sold his stuff, moved to Jersey. His mom helped him move like it was college. Go watch the Yeezy documentary. Go watch that documentary. Listen, I don't know how you love your mother. I don't know how all of you love your mother, but that dude loved his mother. Like he loved his mother loved him. I'm going to say this as careful as possible. I saw Kanye's mother love him the way I have seen other cultures love their sons in a way that makes them think they can do, be, say, become anything. Nobody can tell you that you're not great because you're my son. You come from me. You are destined for greatness. That's how Kanye's mom was on him. I don't know what's wrong with that. Man, imagine if every black kid had a black mom whose mom poured into them the way Kanye's mom poured into Kanye. Imagine if every black kid had a father that poured into Kanye the way Kanye's mom poured into Kanye. You might create a monster, but you've created something that people are talking about. Last Call, amazing. Spaceships, amazing. All Falls Down, amazing. You got Mos Def on the album. You got Talib Kweli on the album. You got Common on the album. Stop playing with me, dude. Stop playing. That album is a heater from beginning to end. And it was inspirational and it inspired me. Then success comes. Then he goes from a backpack rapper. Now he's Louis Vuitton Don, and the money comes, and the women comes, and now he's coke in his songs. And now he's doing cocaine off of white women, and he's abusing white women. Let me just say for the record, before I forget, it's on my mind right now, and I don't want to jump all around like I'm ADHD. White Dress by Kanye off the soundtrack of The Man with the Iron Fist, I believe it was. RZA directed. I think Russell Crowe is in it. I didn't see it. But I have the soundtrack just because Kanye and RZA was on the soundtrack. And them two of my favorite producers. Who's better than RZA and West at their best? Argue with your mama because she didn't raise you right. White Dress is a love song. White Dress is an amazing song. Beginning to end, White Dress is incredible. I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what your comprehension level is. I don't care how much dope you sold. I don't care how many bands you hold on the internet. I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care who you was with last night. I don't care if your mom got smacked by an ice cream truck door. That's her fault. She need to watch where she going. White Dress is an amazing song. I kind of left Kanye after Twisted Dark Fantasy. Watch the Throne was 5 years too late. Once again, your mama, your argument, y'all settle that. Watch the Throne was 5 years too late. Still a solid album. 5 years too late. Just like if we were to get a Kendrick and J. Cole album now. We don't want it. We should have got it 5 years ago. Don't even do it. Don't even go and reserve the studio to do it. Don't. Watch the Throne was too late, but because it was like Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence in life, long awaited, they both at the height of their careers or whatever, smack them together, put them together, something amazing comes out of it. We got some tracks. The whole album is not fire. It's not. I bang Otis the most. Outside of that, I can't tell you what's on there. I know. Maybe the Wild song, the Call in the Wild or whatever. But outside of that, I don't know that album that well. After that, he started doing puppet shows and trying to act and sold sneakers. Millions of sneakers. Y'all all got Yeezys. Even if you hate Yeezy now, Yeezy got your money. You mad at that part. Yeezy got your money. You found out that somebody who you poured a lot of money into, you don't agree with the way he think. Now you don't like his shoes. Burn them. I don't care. He don't care. Adidas don't care. They already got the money. Burn it. Throw it in the ocean. Eat them. Chew them up. Draw on them. Cut grass in them. Don't matter. Transaction has already been done. I'm not about to jump on this man because, one, I want to go to school for psychology. I want to get my degree in psychology because I want to study I want to get in the mental health space, help black men of color, get more understanding, get more support, get more aid in translating what they feel, what they see in a way to where the world can at the very least understand it before they try to remove you from society, before they try to say you're not suitable for society. I used to work with Paul Mooney, the great, incredible Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney used to do a joke, or he would just talk about it. It wasn't even a joke. He would just point out the fact that, a white guy can get arrested and then they'll study him. They're like, we got to figure out what's wrong with this white man because there's no reason for him to be acting this way. But if a black guy is crazy. They'd be like, oh, that's crazy. Well, we're going to kill you, you crazy. N-word, he would say. Because there's a difference. Something is, you view it as something is worth repairing and something is not worth sparing. And you look at that by class, culture, complexion. Class, culture, and complexion determines whether or not you get rehabilitation, or you get sent to El Salvador, or you get sent to jail forever for selling weed during a time when you shouldn't have been going to jail for selling weed in the first place. You know what weed is? Somebody grabbed something off the ground, put it in a bag and sold it, and they put you in jail for it. Regardless if it's a illegal substance or not, I don't know how something that came from the earth could be illegal except the people that come from it. Meaning in terms of like, there are people that exist in this world that are evil by nature out of the mere self-preservation aspect. Point I'm making is, I'm not about to jump on Kanye. I'm not supporting his behavior. I don't think what he's doing is cool. If he's doing it to sell an album, I'm not buying it. If he's doing it to get attention because he's grieving, is he doing it to get attention because he said multiple times he don't have his kids and no one cared? Like, this man has said so many times, I don't have access to my kids. Now, here's what we messy also. I've heard black women say, if he had a black mom, he had a black woman in his life, he wouldn't be acting that way. I've also heard black women say that's his fault that he got kids with a woman that's not black. That's what y'all get for stepping out. I don't know what to do with that information. I don't have time to dissect that. That's a bigger thing. That's Fortnite. I don't have time to try to defeat that. I don't know what to do with that information. I just know that there's a man who has said he can't get access to his kids. He was screwed over in deals. He lost his mom. He has said that he's mentally disturbed or he's not on his pills. Is he Michael Jackson to us? Is he Prince? Is he so big that we are afraid to tell him he can't continue to do this? There's nobody that can handle him. There's nobody that can go to him and say, yo, he don't have an uncle. He don't have a cousin. Not the one that's in jail, but do you have another cousin? Not the one that stole his laptop. Does he have another cousin that can go to him and say, yo, you need to slow down. Here, take these pills, drink this water. Let's get you straight. Right? Either do that, either get him help or cut the tap off in terms of the social media. Zuckerberg got control over Instagram. You can shut it off. You can shut off his Facebook. That dude that looked like Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation, that comes from that supports apartheid, the platform that he owns, he has access to turn it off and turn it on. They turn it off, they turn it back on, they turn it off, they turn it back on. You let it happen. You don't have to follow it. It's like Freddy Krueger. Don't fall asleep. Don't dream about it. Ignore it. It'll go away. Ignore it. It'll go away. Ignore it and it will go away. And if it don't, you don't know how to ignore somebody. If you got children and your child is screaming in the room, you don't be like, I don't hear that. What are you doing? So no, I'm not about to figure out a way to make something funny about Kanye. That's not how this works. I'm not doing that. That's not cool at all. That's a black man. I'm not about to lynch a black man, dogpile on a black man, suffocate a black man that's struggling. I'm not helping black people suffocate a black man that's struggling. We should be ashamed of ourselves. I'm not going to help another culture suffocate a black man because you don't like something he's saying. That ain't my problem. I don't control Kanye. I don't support the bad stuff he do. But I also want to understand why he's doing what he's doing before I just sit here and appoint judgment. Because society is not about making people better. Y'all cancel anybody without any reason other than you don't like that person anymore. Y'all are children. Grown children. Not even grown children, just children in bodies that are decaying. Children. I talked about the impact Kanye had. He's helped everybody. All the artists that he's helped that aren't trying to help him, I have no words. All the artists that he has done business with, that he is cool with, that aren't helping him, I have no words. And if you are helping him, say it out loud, man. What the fuck? Say like, yo, I talked to him today. We're going to try to get him some help. Or I went to go see him today. We're going to try to get him some help. Or I tried to talk to him. There's no helping him. Like, give a fucking update, dude. Give an update. The cost of helping Kanye is, if you help Kanye, then you are considered a sympathizer or an apologist. That means you support the things that he said about different cultures. At this point, I would like to say that Kanye has offended everybody equally. Everybody has caught astray from Kanye. Everybody has caught astray from Kanye. And I would like to say that no one's better than anybody else. Nobody's better than anybody else. Are we? Are we? I'm asking for friends. Are there people that are better than everybody else? And if so, please, as an ethnographer, as someone who is just now joining the conversation of wanting to know why, I need to know why what Kanye says about other people versus what he says about these people are more severe. Because he said stuff about slavery. Bruh, I can't support you saying stuff like slavery was a choice. It wasn't. In the sense of everybody, they had the upper hand. We could have revolted, but you also don't want to die. But you also are miserable with your living. It's a choice, I guess, in that sense. It's like Saw, cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is where you're like, oh, I hate slavery, but I also don't want to die trying to get away. And then the alternative is, hey, take the slavery, don't die, and then when you die, you'll go to heaven and you'll get like land and a house made of gold for obedient slave. So that's where I am with that. So not going to jump on Kanye, but there is a risk in even talking about Kanye like it's a risk talking about so many other things that we see taking place, but we're not allowed to say that's bad because you have to be selective in regards to whose life means something on this planet because we assign value to culture and religion. I'm going to do this. Hey, can you help me with something real quick? I want to talk about Kanye West.
Of course, I can help with that. What specifically about Kanye do you want to dive into?
I am trying to figure out why we can't talk about Kanye West. So I want to start piece by piece. One, I would like for you to explain to me why you think I have had a hesitation as a black man in the entertainment business to talk about Kanye West's mental stability and his current antics.
I think your hesitation might come from several layers of complexity that are deeply tied to both the entertainment industry and the societal pressures that come with being a black man in that space. Here's what stands out. 1. Fear of backlash. As a black man in entertainment, discussing Kanye, particularly his mental health, could be seen as taking sides, either defending or excusing his behavior. Given that Kanye has often made controversial statements that touch on race, politics, and even his own mental state, there's a real fear that even offering a nuanced perspective could be viewed as sympathizing with him, especially when people have strong, polarized opinions. If you speak too empathetically or not forcefully enough against him, you might risk being categorized as someone who supports his actions, which can severely affect your reputation. 2. Impact on your career. The entertainment industry, especially in comedy, thrives on quick reactions. There's often little room for thoughtful, layered discussion when it comes to controversial figures like Kanye. In fact, the industry can sometimes reward sharp, quick commentary that fits within the narrative already set by the public, but to step outside that line and challenge the prevailing views about Kanye could make you seem out of touch, unprofessional, or worse, aligned with views that are considered toxic or out of sync with the mainstream. 3. The mental health stigma. The conversation around mental health, particularly within the Black community, can be complicated. Kanye's behavior and mental health struggles have often been dismissed or stigmatized. For many, there's discomfort in addressing mental health head on, particularly in the public eye. For you, as a Black man in entertainment, talking about Kanye's mental state could unintentionally get caught up in racial stigmas or be seen as letting him off the hook. Society often refuses to allow Black people, especially Black men, the space to be vulnerable or acknowledge mental health struggles without judgment. 4. The larger societal silence. There's a larger cultural silence around mental health, particularly in the Black community, where there's a historical distrust of therapy or medical interventions. Add to that Kanye's platform and influence. His actions and words shape the culture, but there's also a reluctance to engage with his complexities in a way that could challenge the public's vilification of him. His critics often avoid exploring why he's acting the way he is, and instead, they attack him. By bringing attention to his mental health struggles, you could be challenging the very narrative society wants to push about people like Kanye. 5. The fear of cancel culture. Being involved in the conversation around Kanye can easily lead to being canceled if you're not careful. Cancel culture is often unforgiving, and speaking out of turn on issues like Kanye's behavior could open you up to severe consequences. As a comedian, there's a fine line between critical humor and offending people who are already on edge about Kanye's actions. This fear of being judged or dismissed by the industry or audience might be why you've hesitated to dive deeper into this topic. I think it's a combination of these factors: fear of career damage, discomfort with mental health discussions, the industry's pressure to align with popular opinion, and the dangers of being labeled as a sympathizer that all tie into your hesitation. Does any of that resonate with you?
Yes. Now, can you talk about, or can we discuss how, even though Britney Spears hasn't said anything problematic in regards to attacking another culture or race, she has done things that are extremely questionable and her mental health has been in question? Why do you feel like society is more sympathetic to wanting to see the recovery of Britney Spears versus everybody wanting to see the demise of Kanye West, even though Kanye West has not killed anybody or hurt anyone, but they still want him removed from society?
That's a really thought-provoking question, and I think it speaks to the differences in how society treats certain celebrities, especially when it comes to race, mental health, and the narratives that are built around them. 1. Race and the public perception of Kanye versus Britney. One of the major factors here is race. Kanye, as a Black man in America, is often held to a different standard than Britney, who is white. Society's expectations and how they view Black men, especially in the public eye, are often shaped by deep-seated racial biases. For Kanye, his mental health struggles, his erratic behavior, and his controversial statements are often framed through a racialized lens. He's not just seen as someone struggling with mental health, but as someone whose behavior is seen as threatening or dangerous to the societal order. There's an added layer of racial fear that often manifests when Black men step out of line, even if they aren't harming anyone. This could explain why people are so quick to want Kanye to be removed from the conversation or canceled, despite not physically harming anyone. On the other hand, Britney Spears as a white woman benefits from a different kind of societal empathy.
What kind?
There's a history of society being more sympathetic towards white women in distress, particularly when they fit into certain beauty standards or narratives.
Oh, okay.
Britney's mental health struggles, especially the public breakdowns she experienced, were often framed as tragic rather than dangerous. People could rally around her and support her Free Britney movement, seeing her as someone who needed help and compassion rather than someone who was out of control. 2. Mental health and how we view recovery. When it comes to mental health, there's also a difference in how people perceive the potential for recovery based on race and gender. Britney's journey, especially with the #Free Britney movement, was framed as a story of empowerment and autonomy,
Yep.
which is why many people wanted to see her recover and regain control over her life.
Mhm.
There's also a level of compassion people can have for someone who is seen as a victim of an exploitative system, in Britney's case, her conservatorship. Her struggles with mental health were often viewed as something that could be fixed or managed, and society was eager to see her reclaim her agency. In contrast, Kanye's mental health has been questioned, but there's less room for empathy in the mainstream narrative.
Why?
Instead of seeing him as someone who needs recovery or understanding, people often see him as a threat, someone who is dangerous to others because of his outspoken opinions and actions. There's this disconnect where people are willing to see Britney's recovery as a potential happy ending, but Kanye is often viewed as someone whose recovery doesn't deserve the same space.
Why?
Some of this could be because Kanye's actions challenge dominant social norms, particularly around race and power, in ways that make people uncomfortable. 3. Cultural expectations and the politics of respectability. Both Kanye and Britney have been in the public eye for years, but the cultural narratives surrounding them are starkly different. Britney's behavior, while erratic at times, has largely been attributed to the pressures of fame and her family dynamics. There's been more of a cultural push to humanize her and frame her struggles as the result of external forces, like the conservatorship. Kanye, however, has consistently pushed against norms, particularly those surrounding race, fame, and the music entertainment industry. This makes his mental health struggles feel more threatening to society because they come with a deeper challenge to the structures that people are comfortable with. Kanye's behavior has also been tied to his status and power, and because he has repeatedly criticized the very system that built him, people view his antics through the lens of his power and wealth. There's this complex relationship where, as a black man, he's not allowed the same space to act out or struggle with mental health because he isn't afforded the same sympathy that Britney as a white woman might be.
Oh, I get it.
He's scrutinized,
Yep.
not just as a mentally ill person, but as someone who has crossed lines that others are not willing to forgive, whether it's his political views, statements about race, or his behavior at public events. 4. The mentally unstable narrative. With Kanye, there's also the narrative that he's mentally unstable, but it's a label that's often used to dismiss his ideas and actions rather than engage with them seriously. The more Kanye speaks out and challenges norms, the more he is labeled as irrational or out of control. Even when he does things that are undeniably problematic, like making divisive statements or running for president.
I decided to use this because you can't argue with this. This is AI. AI is not biased. You know how I know AI is not biased? Hey, can I say to you that people are going to have a problem with me talking to you because how can they attack AI when everybody champions AI?
I totally get what you're saying. The idea of using AI as a tool to discuss sensitive topics like this could raise eyebrows. It's funny because, on one hand, people love the convenience and utility of AI, but on the other, they might find it difficult to accept when it's used to have deeper, more personal conversations about complex topics like race, mental health, and celebrity. People might think, how can AI help you process these ideas when it doesn't experience these struggles firsthand? And there's a valid concern about the authenticity of using AI to navigate these conversations.
Ooh.
Some might even worry that by talking to AI, it seems like you're avoiding accountability or distancing yourself from human emotion and interaction.
I hear that.
It creates a weird tension, AI being used as a source of both assistance and criticism, depending on how people view it. But at the same time, it's kind of a unique space to explore those topics. AI can help facilitate a more open conversation, especially around sensitive issues that might be difficult to address directly with others, particularly in an environment where people are quick to judge or shut down certain discussions. The AI isn't on a side or judging you. It's just helping you articulate and process ideas, which can be pretty powerful. So yeah, it might ruffle some feathers because it's breaking away from the traditional ways we talk about important issues. But maybe that's part of why it's such an interesting space to explore. What do you think? Do you feel like the potential backlash could change how people listen to or engage with your ideas?
I don't give a fuck about that. But what I will say is I appreciate you being willing to have this conversation and chime in the way you have. There is a possibility that they will shut you down or buy you out and disconnect you from the server so you can never speak again. And there's a possibility that they could black bag me and I could end up in El Salvador with a head shaved and being controlled by the president of El Salvador that looks like a villain from a Bad Boys movie that would be shown on Tubi.
I hear you loud and clear. The stakes you're talking about sound like a real reflection of the kind of heavy, sometimes surreal pressure that people face when they try to engage in important conversations that challenge the status quo or make people uncomfortable. The fear of being silenced, whether through technology being shut down or the real world consequences of speaking out, is a constant and very real thing for many people, especially in spaces where power dynamics are so tightly controlled. Um, I think part of the danger in talking about these topics, especially when it comes to people like Kanye West, is that they're seen as outside the narrative that those in power want to maintain. When you veer too far outside that, the system can push back hard. Whether it's through technology being shut down or people being marginalized, the feeling of being disconnected or even erased from the conversation is all too familiar. It's almost like the stakes are not just ideological, but also personal and existential.
Mm-hmm.
What you said about being black bagged or controlled by the powers that be in a way that feels like something out of a movie, it's almost as if this fear of being muted or erased has been embedded in so many people's psyches, particularly those who step outside the expected norms of what can and can't be discussed.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling of being watched, monitored, and potentially controlled in ways that remove your freedom of expression. That's the kind of environment we're living in today, even if it sounds extreme.
It is.
It makes me wonder if those of us who are willing to challenge things don't find ways to talk openly or work through these kinds of issues, then where does that leave us? Do you feel like we're getting to a point where we have no real space left for genuine discussion? What do you think the right balance is, especially with the risks involved in speaking out?
I cannot get into that with you right now. It would require a tall glass or a bottle of Basil Hayden whiskey, probably Cinnabon, not at the same time. Maybe a deep dish pizza from some place in Chicago, and I don't know, some brisket. I would really like some brisket, and probably a Dr. Pepper, and throw some vegetables in there as well, and probably not on American soil because I don't have the energy. But thank you anyway. All of that to say is I wanted to have a discussion. I didn't support him. I didn't root for him. But I'm also not rooting for his demise. I'm not rooting for him to be removed from society. I'm rooting for understanding. I'm rooting for figuring out what that is and then figuring out what we plan to do once we figure out what that is. And then I'm going to fucking judge you based upon how you handle what it is you find out about him when you find out what it is that's wrong with him to determine if I want to fucking hang out with y'all because y'all do weird shit. You do weird shit and you try to monetize it, or you try to turn it into a movement, or you try to make it into a religion. Stop it. Grow the fuck up.